Bonjour. Good afternoon. Convoqué par le chancelier, par le recteur et vice-chancelier et par le Sénat de l'Université, la faculté de génie de l'Université d'Ottawa est ici réunie pour la collation des grades. Summoned by the Chancellor, by the President and Vice-Chancellor, and by the Senate of the University, the Faculty of Engineering of the University of Ottawa has now assembled in convocation. Que tous les candidats et candidates veuillent bien se lever. Members of the graduating class will now rise. Monsieur le chancelier, J'ai maintenant l'honneur et le privilège de vous présenter les finissantes et finissants et de vous prier de leur conférer collectivement les grades obtenus par chacun individuellement et sanctionnés par le Sénat de l'Université d'Ottawa. Chancellor, it is now my duty and privilege to present to you the graduates and to request you to confer upon them the degrees for which individually they have qualified and to which the Senate of the University of Ottawa has given its assent.
Merci, M. de Mello. À titre de chancelier de l'Université d'Ottawa, l'université dont le campus principal est construit sur le territoire ancestral du peuple algonquin, en vertu des pouvoirs qui me sont dévolus, je vous confère les grades que vous avez obtenus en satisfaisant aux exigences du Sénat avec le titre et tous les honneurs, droits et privilèges afférents. As Chancellor of the University of Ottawa, university whose main campus is built upon the ancestral lands of the Algonquin people, by authority of the powers vested in me, I do hereby confer upon you the degrees to which you have demonstrated your entitlement to the satisfaction of the Senate with such title, honor, rights and privileges that are proper to them. Veuillez vous asseoir, s'il vous plaît. Please be seated. Chères finissantes, chers finissants, Monsieur Richard Labbé, membre du Bureau des gouverneurs et du Sénat, Monsieur le recteur et vice-chancelier, chers vice-recteurs et vice-rectrices, chers doyens et doyennes, chers professeurs, chers parents et amis, distingués invités, je suis très heureux d'être ici pour partager cette journée très spéciale avec vous. Les cérémonies des collations de grade de cette année sont les premières auxquelles j'assiste personnellement en tant que chancelier de l'Université d'Ottawa. C'est pour moi un grand honneur et c'est avec fierté et humilité que je m'adresse à vous aujourd'hui. I'd like to take this opportunity to congratulate you, the class of 2016. These students who have worked so hard to graduate today. Please join me in a warm round of applause for their efforts. Bravo! Convocation is a momentous occasion for you, but also for your parents, your friends, your family, your professors and mentors, who are all extremely proud of you. Several of these people are here with us today. They too should be congratulated for supporting you during your studies. Let's show them our appreciation for them. La collation des grades est également pour nous une occasion privilégiée de reconnaître une personne marquante en lui conférant un doctorat honorifique. By conferring an honorary doctorate, the university is making a statement to its graduates and frankly to the world about the traits of character, about the kinds of achievements, and about the personal qualities we most admire. Aujourd'hui, nous avons l'immense plaisir de conférer ce grade honorifique à Richard Labbé, un ingénieur et entrepreneur dont les réalisations dans le domaine de déminage ont bâti sa renommée dans le monde entier. He is the very model, poster child, I would say, for research, entrepreneurship, creativity, innovation, and linking business progress to great ideas derived from a great education in university, in engineering. Also a model for giving back to the community that helped him achieve it. Nous aurons d'ailleurs l'occasion d'en apprendre davantage sur son impressionnant parcours dans quelques instants. Monsieur Labbé, merci. Merci d'être ici aujourd'hui. Vous êtes une grande source d'inspiration pour nous tous ici réunis et nous sommes reconnaissants de partager cette journée spéciale avec vous. Aujourd'hui, nous sommes donc tous unis par le fait que nous sommes tous des diplômés de l'Université d'Ottawa. Lorsque Moi-même, j'ai quitté ce campus en 1980. Je n'aurais jamais pu imaginer que j'y reviendrais 35 ans plus tard comme chef titulaire de l'université. Je suis extrêmement reconnaissant de ce que m'a apporté ma formation universitaire. J'ai appris très jeune la valeur de l'éducation. Quand mon père, médecin urologue, a quitté la Roumanie pour immigrer au Canada avec sa famille à presque 40 ans en 1960, il avait son épouse, ses 2 jeunes enfants, 60 $ en poche et 2 valises de vêtements. Ma mère, elle était enseignante. Ce qu'ils avaient de plus précieux, ce n'est pas ce qu'ils avaient dans ces quelques valises, mais bien ce qu'ils avaient dans leur tête. C'est grâce à leur connaissance et à leur éducation qu'ils ont pu rebâtir leur vie au Canada et offrir à leurs enfants de belles perspectives d'avenir. Le savoir est ce qu'il y a de plus précieux, notre plus grand atout. Il s'exporte, il s'importe, il se transfère et il s'adapte aux circonstances. C'est la ressource naturelle la plus fondamentale et la plus abondante à notre disposition devant un monde en constante évolution. Indeed, it is said that we live in a world in which the scientific discoveries of the past 2 decades, including those made at our very own university, have eclipsed all the discoveries made in the previous 100,000 years. Medical breakthroughs in particular continue to be made at breakneck speed that show no signs of slowing. Who would have thought that one day we might seriously be planning to repair spinal cords, grow human organs in the lab, or right here at the University of Ottawa, use viruses to kill cancer cells? Those of us here who have a little experience, or less politically correct, those of us here who are old, know very well that the fields of study have changed. Tremendously, I would say, since the day we graduated. We're constantly learning and gaining knowledge as we move from one phase of our lives to the next. So my first message to you today is embrace this. Do what you need to do to stay on top of your field and continue learning from others. Why? Because in today's hyper-competitive world, average is over. Only by innovating and breaking new ground will we succeed in solving the most pressing issues of our time. Mais ce n'est pas tout. Pour arriver à tirer parti du changement, des perturbations et de l'innovation, il faut savoir prendre des risques calculés, intégrer des technologies avant-gardistes, penser comme des entrepreneurs qui mettent de nouveaux produits et services sur le marché, et aussi ne pas craindre des petits échecs qui se trouvent sur la route du succès. Avoiding mediocrity requires us to take risks. Avoiding mediocrity requires us to be globally audacious and open to working with others. Avoiding mediocrity requires us to be socially engaged in our communities, be they local or international. Avoiding mediocrity requires us to be as nimble as an entrepreneur in an emerging market. Si j'ai accepté ce poste à l'Université d'Ottawa, c'est à cause de la culture de découverte et d'ouverture au monde que je trouve dans cet établissement. À cause de ses forces en recherche, de sa population étudiante bilingue et surtout de sa volonté courageuse de se différencier des autres. Et aussi parce que je suis convaincu que sous le leadership d'Alan Rock, ces dernières années, l'université s'est dotée de solides fondations qui lui permettront d'atteindre les objectifs ambitieux qu'elle s'est fixés. Je suis fier de représenter l'université partout où je vais, directement ou indirectement, en faisant part des nouvelles initiatives intéressantes et en mettant de l'avant avec force le monde de possibilités que cette université canadienne de premier plan peut offrir. You too, as newly minted alumni, should be proud to represent your alma mater, just as we take pride in your future accomplishments. Judging at least in part from what you take away from this unique university experience, all of you have what it takes to succeed. You've already proven that you can work hard, that you're disciplined, and that you can finish what you start. So now, as you embark on the next phase of your lives and careers, be unreasonable in your expectations. Be aware, be audacious, and be a force for good in communities. Be courageous, innovative, and swift in execution. Time waits for no one, and it will not wait for you. So while today is for looking back and congratulations, tomorrow is for looking forward to what you can contribute to your professions and to your communities. I and the rest of the university wish you the best of success. Thank you. Merci beaucoup. J'inviterai maintenant le doyen Claude Lagu à venir vous dire quelques mots. Merci.
Merci beaucoup, Monsieur le Chancelier. In a few days, I'll be ending my 10-year tenure as Dean of the Faculty of Engineering at the University of Ottawa. I want to thank you, Mr. Chancellor, as well as our President and Vice Chancellor, Mr. Alan Rock, for allowing me to briefly address our graduating class this afternoon. Les cérémonies de collation des grades ont toujours été des moments forts pour moi en tant que doyen. Il s'agit d'une occasion unique de féliciter, mais surtout de remercier nos nouvelles et nos nouveaux diplômés pour la confiance que vous nous avez démontrée envers nous et envers votre alma mater durant vos études. Au cours des 10 dernières années, je n'aurais raté qu'une seule cérémonie de collation des grades, et c'était parce que j'étais à l'Université Laval pour mon propre 25e anniversaire de diplomation. Directly interacting with hundreds of students during the last 10 years has been one of the most rewarding perks of my job as Dean of the Faculty. Since 2006, I've had the privilege of working with student leaders, encouraging and supporting budding entrepreneurs, presenting awards and prizes to deserving students, and also of assisting students or student teams wishing to engage into pre-professional activities and competitions here and abroad. Thank you very much for granting me this unique opportunity. La faculté de génie a beaucoup changé au cours des 10 dernières années. Il n'y a pas si longtemps, notre collation des grades du printemps se résumait à une seule cérémonie. Aujourd'hui, il nous faut 2 cérémonies pour accommoder les centaines d'étudiantes et d'étudiants au 3 cycles qui reçoivent leur diplôme. Notre population étudiante a aussi beaucoup changé. Nous comptons le plus grand nombre et la plus grande proportion d'étudiantes et d'étudiants au cycle supérieur à l'Université d'Ottawa. Près de 2000 étudiants et étudiantes de la faculté de génie viennent de l'extérieur du Canada et nous occupons également le premier rang à ce chapitre. Together, we are constantly innovating and developing differentiating features for our faculty. Entrepreneurship and innovation, engineering design, and since last year, we've combined these 2 very important elements through our first and unique NSERC chair in entrepreneurial engineering design, the only one of its kind in Canada. We have increased student participation to pre-professional competitions. Now we have more students, more teams participating to more competition everywhere around the world and reaping lots of success. We've improved our teaching labs and we've established workshops such as the Brunsfield Group Engineering Student Project and Entrepreneurship Center, as well as the Richard Labbé Makerspace to allow our students to learn by doing. We've also ramped up our outreach to K-12 students as well as to the community at large. And since last year with our University of Ottawa Maker Mobile, we're in a unique position of increasing the awareness and interest of our youth towards engineering and computing. We've also increased our involvement in cooperative education. We have the only program in the University of Ottawa now in software engineering that is where co-op education is mandatory, and this is just a start. And finally, we've taken a leadership role in increasing the presence of women in engineering and computing, notably through our NSERC Pratt & Whitney Canada Chair for Women in Engineering and Science for the Ontario region. And I want also to emphasize the fact that most of these initiatives would not have been possible without the active support of many alumni and friends of our faculty. What we have done is really great, and it is something that must continue if the Faculty of Engineering is to continue to thrive in the future. In closing, I just want to mention two examples of innovative action that have taken place during the last academic year. Last fall, for the first time, our faculty hosted professors coming from a number of Chinese engineering schools. And these colleagues learned about our engineering teaching and education at the University of Ottawa, and this will lead in the future to increased collaboration between our faculty and these universities. En 2015-2016, la faculté a créé de nouveaux prix pour souligner l'esprit entrepreneurial parmi nos professeurs et nos employés. Nous avons ainsi reconnu Dr. Liam Payton, professeur à l'École de sciences informatiques et de génie électrique, pour la transformation de notre programme d'études en génie logiciel, ainsi que M. Frank Bouchard, qui est notre gestionnaire des programmes de sensibilisation, qui a grandement contribué à la mise sur pied au succès de l'atelier Makerspace Richard Labbé et du Maker Mobile de l'Université d'Ottawa. Je tiens à remercier tous les employés, tous les professeurs et leaders de la faculté de génie qui sont directement responsables de cette remarquable évolution de notre faculté. Sans eux, rien de tout cela n'aurait été possible et je leur en suis très reconnaissant. But enough said, convocation is not the dean's show, it's yours. So let's get on with the program, starting with the address from your class president. So at this time, it's my pleasure to introduce Mr. Sylvain Roussel, who will be speaking on behalf of our 2016 graduating class this afternoon. Sylvain a pratiqué le métier de mécanicien pendant près de 10 ans et a dirigé sa propre entreprise de mécanique automobile avant de s'inscrire à l'Université d'Ottawa. He started his undergraduate studies in electrical engineering as a mature student and also as a father back in 2011. Durant ses études, Sylvain s'est impliqué activement pour améliorer les conditions d'apprentissage des étudiants de la faculté de génie et aussi pour accroître la disponibilité de cours enseignés en français. Sylvain has completed his studies with an impressive 9.5 GPA. Il a reçu plusieurs bourses et distinctions et s'est notamment démarqué pour l'excellence des évaluations de ses stages coop au sein de 3 entreprises technologiques différentes. Monsieur le chancelier, monsieur le recteur et vice-chancelier, mesdames et messieurs, il me fait extrêmement plaisir de vous présenter monsieur Sylvain Roussel et de l'inviter au podium.
Thank you, sir. Merci beaucoup, monsieur le doyen. Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Sylvain, and I am a student that will graduate and receive his diploma in a few minutes, just like the majority of you. And it is an honor for me to be in front of you today. Bon après-midi à vous tous. Je m'appelle Sylvain et je suis un étudiant qui va graduer d'ici quelques minutes, tout comme vous. Et c'est un honneur pour moi d'être devant vous aujourd'hui. I will give my speech in both official languages. I will first begin in French and English will follow. Je vais donner un discours dans les 2 langues officielles, d'abord en français et l'anglais suivra. 4 ans au minimum, car c'est bien plus pour tous ceux qui ont fait une maîtrise ou un doctorat. Alors, jetons un dernier coup d'œil derrière nous et regardons ce que nous avons surmonté. 102 examens, 200 devoirs, près de 100 rapports de laboratoire, un grand total de 560 jours de lecture, et c'est un minimum, et pas moins que 840 cafés Tim Hortons. Disons au revoir au semestre contenant 5 ou 6 cours, où nous étions à bout de souffle et où certains professeurs adoraient nous rajouter un dernier devoir à la dernière minute. Disons au revoir aux nuits blanches pour étudier, car on avait 2 examens finaux le lendemain qui nous attendaient. Disons au revoir aux équations de Maxwell résolues à la main, parce que de toute façon, c'est fait de façon logicielle aujourd'hui. Eh bien, je vous annonce que tout ceci est bel et bien derrière nous. En nous regardant aujourd'hui, comment avons-nous pu réussir à passer à travers toutes ces années? Quelles étaient les compétences ainsi que les valeurs nécessaires pour décrocher un diplôme universitaire en génie ou en informatique? Ne pensez-vous donc pas qu'il suffisait juste d'être intelligent pour réussir? Moi, je pense que non, et je vais vous expliquer pourquoi. Mais avant, étant donné que j'ai eu une carrière avant de devenir universitaire tout comme vous, ma vision de l'éducation était un petit peu différente de la vôtre. Alors, j'ai pris le temps de vous observer, et je vais vous faire part de mes observations que j'ai eues pendant ces 4 dernières années. J'ai vu des étudiants, inconnus entre eux, se réunir et former des groupes pour tenter de résoudre des devoirs comportant des problèmes très complexes. Ça, c'est du véritable travail d'équipe. J'ai vu des gens partager des notes de cours, car un collègue devait s'absenter pour ce cours. Ça, c'est de l'entraide authentique. J'ai vu des groupes étudiants étudier pendant des nuits entières. Ça, c'est de la détermination. J'ai vu des leaders étudiants emprunter des salles de classe pour improviser des DGD ou des tutoriels afin de pratiquer la matière car un examen s'approchait. Ça, c'est du leadership et de la solidarité. Ce sont les valeurs primordiales, selon moi, pour réussir un diplôme universitaire. Eh bien, je vous annonce que vous avez tous fait preuve de travail d'équipe, de détermination, d'entraide, de leadership et, encore une fois, beaucoup de solidarité, car nous avons tous gagné. Nous avons réellement conquis l'Université d'Ottawa et nous devrions tous en être vraiment fiers. Maintenant, nous sommes tous réunis aujourd'hui pour passer à la prochaine étape, qui peut être soit de poursuivre ses études ou bien d'aller sur le marché du travail. Peu importe dans le domaine dans lequel vous allez travailler ou étudier, un beau jour, vous allez terminer par faire du travail de conception qui va avoir un impact direct sur l'humanité. Par exemple, j'étais un mécanicien avant et j'ai déjà réparé le véhicule d'un médecin. Eh bien, ce médecin-là prenait son véhicule à chaque jour pour se rendre à l'hôpital pour aller soigner des malades et sauver des vies. Cet exemple est trivial, mais il comporte un impact direct sur l'humanité. Alors imaginez-vous, en tant qu'ingénieur ou informaticien, l'impact direct sera probablement beaucoup plus grand que ce que j'avais avant. Donc, peu importe ce que vous allez concevoir dans vos carrières, vous pouvez décider de les concevoir soit pour l'argent ou pour faire économiser de l'argent à votre employeur. Ou bien vous pouvez décider de le concevoir en pensant à l'humanité et ainsi améliorer la qualité de vie. Ceci est votre choix et ce choix vous sera toujours ouvert. Nos grands-parents ont créé la production à la chaîne. Nos parents ont réglé les problèmes des pluies acides. Et vous, maintenant, qu'allez-vous régler? Ce choix repose sur chacun d'entre nous et peu importe votre décision, rappelez-vous que l'humanité compte sur vous pour faire un monde meilleur. A minimum of 4 years, since it is more for those of you who have completed a master or a PhD. Please, let's take a look behind and see what we have been through. 102 exams, around 200 assignments, close to 100 lab reports, a total of 560 days of lecture, and that's a minimum, and no less than 840 Tim Hortons coffee. Let's say goodbye to a semester with 5 or 6 courses where we were completely out of breath with some professor who adore and love adding some last-minute assignment. Say goodbye to sleepless night because we had to study because there was 2 final exams coming the day after. Say goodbye to solving Maxwell's equation by hand because these are being calculated by software anyways. Well, I can now tell you that this is truly behind us. By looking at all of us today, how did we manage to get through the past years? What kind of skills were required to achieve an engineering or computer science degree? Do you think it was really a matter of being intelligent or smart enough in order to be successful? Well, I think the answer is no, and I will explain myself. Since I had a previous career before enrolling in university in electrical engineering, my vision of education was slightly different than yours. So I took the time to observe you, and I will share with you my observation. I saw some students, often unknown to each other, forming groups to try to solve assignments that had very complex problems. This is through teamwork. I've seen people sharing lecture notes because a colleague was absent during a lecture. This is through mutual aid. I saw students studying all night long. This is through determination. I saw some student leader borrow classroom to improvise a last-minute DGD or tutorial so that they could practice the class material because an exam was approaching. This is through leadership and solidarity. These were the required skills to succeed in university. Well, I can tell that every single one of you have proven and shown such teamwork, determination, support, leadership, and again, a lot of solidarity. And we are all winners here because we have conquered the University of Ottawa, and we should really be proud of ourselves. And now, we are all united here today for the next step, which could be to continue your studies or to go on the job market. Whichever area of engineering or computer science that you will work in, you will end up by doing design work that will have a direct impact on humanity. Here is a small example. I was a mechanic before, and I once repaired a doctor's car. The doctor used his car every day to travel to the hospital where he saved lives and he took care of the sick. This example is trivial, but it is true. So you can imagine that as an engineer or a computer scientist, your design work could have a much greater impact on humanity. So for every system that you will design in your career, you may decide to design it for the money, or simply to save money to your employer. Or you can decide to design for humanity and to improve the quality of life. This choice will always be open to you. Our grandparents created the production chain. Our parents solved the problem of acid rain. And now you, what will you solve? The decision relies on every one of us. And whatever you decide to do, keep in mind that humanity is counting on you to make a better world. Thank you, and congratulations to all of you. Congratulations again, and let's take a few moments to look back on our year together.
Oui, c'était une bonne vidéo, mais il faut applaudir aussi pour le discours de Sylvain Roussel. Merci, Sylvain. Excellent discours. Thank you for bringing back some memories for the class of 2016. Thank you for the perspective you lend to education and its meaning in our lives. C'était excellent et je vous remercie encore une fois. Maintenant, I propose to address candidates for the doctoral degree. L'attribution du doctorat, le grade le plus élevé que confère l'université, est soumise à des conditions rigoureuses qui exigent des candidats des qualités de haute valeur. The conferring of the doctorate, the highest degree granted by the university, is based upon exacting conditions that require on the part of candidates qualities of the highest intellectual order. Je prie maintenant Claude Lagu, doyen de la faculté de génie, de vous inviter individuellement à monter sur la scène, afin qu'accompagné de votre directeur ou directrice de thèse, vous puissiez recevoir votre diplôme et votre épithète. I would now ask the Dean of the Faculty of Engineering, Claude Lagu, to call you forward so that accompanied by your thesis supervisor, you may receive your diploma and doctoral hood. Congratulations.
Merci, Monsieur le directeur et vice-chancelier. Premièrement, je veux remercier toutes les étudiantes et tous les étudiants qui ont confirmé la prononciation correcte de leur nom. Et je veux aussi offrir toutes mes excuses pour les erreurs que je vais sûrement commettre cet après-midi. So, thank you very much to all the students who have confirmed the correct pronunciation of their names, and I want to offer my sincere apologies for the mistakes that I'm bound to make this afternoon. Au nom de la Faculté des études supérieures et postdoctorales et au nom de la Faculté de génie, il me fait plaisir de vous présenter nos nouveaux doctorants. It gives me great pleasure to present to you our new PhD graduates on behalf of the Faculty of Graduate and Postdoctoral Studies and of the Faculty of Engineering. Doctorate in Philosophy in Electrical and Computer Engineering, Khaled Ben Hafayed. Doctorate in Philosophy and Computer Science, Hamir Afrasiabi Rad. Hamoud Ibrahim Al-Jaman. Elnaz Bigdeli. Diman Ghazi. Mohamed Hoda. Livaniena Rakut Malal. Martin Scaiano. Voici qui complète la remise des diplômes de doctorat. Toutes et tous nos nouveaux diplômés méritent nos applaudissements. This completes the awarding of the PhD degrees. Let's give them a big round of applause. It's a great honor for me at this time to present the recipient of an honorary doctorate, M. Richard Labbé, truly exceptional Faculty of Engineering alumnus. M. Richard Labbé est un diplômé en génie mécanique de l'Université d'Ottawa. Quelques années après l'obtention de son diplôme, il a cofondé l'entreprise Med Systems, où il n'a pas ménagé ses efforts pour développer des technologies et des produits innovateurs répondant aux besoins de clients répartis aux quatre coins de la planète. Many people across the world owe their lives to Med personal protection suits and products, and this has allowed Mr. Labbé and Med to become a worldwide leader in the industry. L'ardeur en affaires de M. Labbé n'a d'égal que sa générosité, dont il a fait et continue de faire bénéficier plusieurs organisations, y compris son alma mater. Richard Labbé is committed to helping anyone with a good idea turn it into a concrete product or service and to make dreams reality. We could not ask for a better role model for new graduates to emulate as you start building your own meaningful professional careers. Je vous invite maintenant à visionner une brève vidéo sur cet ingénieur et entrepreneur de grand talent.
L'entrepreneur et philanthrope canadien Richard Labbé a cofondé Med Systems Inc. en 1981. Alors âgé de 24 ans, il avait obtenu 2 ans plus tôt un diplôme d'ingénieur mécanique à l'Université d'Ottawa. D'abord directeur de la production au sein de cette firme d'Ottawa, il en est devenu président et directeur général, un poste qu'il a occupé jusqu'à sa retraite à l'automne 2005. Sous sa gouverne, l'entreprise Med est devenue un chef de file mondial parmi les sociétés spécialisées dans l'équipement de protection pour l'enlèvement d'engins explosifs. The business community took note of Labbé's visionary leadership and expertise. Among his most notable distinctions, he was the first civilian to receive the Distinguished Service Award from the International Association of Bomb Technicians and Investigators. Med has won the coveted Canada Export Award for its many accomplishments and is a platinum member of Canada's 50 Best Managed Companies. In 2003, Labbé was named CEO of the Year by the Ottawa Business Journal, and in 2008, he was recognized as Business Person of the Year by the Canadian Venture Capital and Private Equity Association. Ses liens avec la faculté de génie sont toujours étroits, comme en témoigne sa participation au comité consultatif du Fonds de dotation pour l'entrepreneuriat et l'innovation, qui appuie l'entrepreneuriat étudiant et la création de l'atelier Makerspace, qui donne aux créateurs un environnement de développement novateur. La faculté de génie lui a décerné son prix d'excellence des diplômés en 2000 et l'université lui a accordé son prix Méritas Tabaret en 2013 en reconnaissance de son dévouement et de ses réalisations philanthropiques.
J'invite maintenant notre chancelier, M. Colin Rovinescu, à venir prononcer la formule d'attribution du doctorat honorifique.
À titre de chancelier de l'Université d'Ottawa, en vertu des pouvoirs qui me sont dévolus, je vous confère le grade de docteur de l'Université avec le titre et tous les honneurs et privilèges qui s'y rattachent. As Chancellor of the University of Ottawa, by authority of the powers vested in me, I do hereby confer upon you the degree of Doctor of the University, with a title, honor, and privileges that are appropriate to it. And it gives me great pleasure to do so. Congratulations.
Monsieur le chancelier, Monsieur le recteur, membres du comité d'administration, membres du bureau des gouverneurs, membres du Sénat universitaire, chers professeurs, chers finissants et finissantes, chers parents et amis, distingués invités. Hello, Francine? My wife. Class of 2006, to each and every one of you receiving a diploma today, congratulations. This is a very important milestone for all of you. And I hope you will take the time to celebrate and cherish this day for the rest of your lives. It is quite an honor for me to be standing here before all of you today. It's extremely humbling, and I am immensely grateful to the university for bestowing this honor upon me. I wish that everyone who had helped me along the way, my parents, my brothers and sister, my wife and kids, my teachers, my mentors, my co-workers, customers, and competitors, yes, competitors around the world, I wish they could be here on stage with me today to share this honor with me. Their contributions to my career, to my life, have been huge. Je me souviens encore du jour où j'étais assis dans cette même salle, comme vous, il y a 37 ans. C'était un moment de grande fierté pour moi. Sitting in this very room many years ago was a very proud moment for me, as I am sure it is a very proud moment for all of you who are receiving your diplomas here today. The evening that I received my diploma, my father sat me down, and he had these very wise words for me. He said, "Son, you now have an engineering degree, and you're about to begin your career. Always remember that the first 40 hours you work in a week are to earn your paycheck. Every hour you work over and above that is an investment in yourself. Souviens-toi toujours que chaque heure par semaine que tu travailleras, au-delà de 40 heures, sera un investissement en toi. » C'était des paroles d'une grande sagesse pour un homme qui n'avait qu'une 3e année, et je ne les ai jamais oubliées. Truth be told, graduating class of 2016, when I was studying engineering, I was far from being a straight-A student. In fact, I had to work much harder than most of my fellow students just to get decent marks. Were any of you in that boat? Of course not. In a way, for me, this was a blessing because I was so accustomed to working harder than most that I carried this discipline into my working life. For me, working long hours, sometimes crazy long hours, was normal. A little over a year after graduating, I was given my first real design project. Richard, you're going to design a bomb disposal helmet. What a challenge. Where do you start? Well, as an engineer with the same training that you've received, with limited knowledge of the needs of the customer, but with a good idea what protection levels to aim for, I went on to design a helmet and spent the next 2 months building a prototype. In March of 1981, were any of you born in 1981? Okay, so 1981 is just after the dinosaurs, okay? So at that time, we unveiled our helmet prototype to the Canadian authorities. The helmet actually was pretty cool, pretty funky, very original, and it had many new features that had never been available until then. So, to our surprise, the customers walked up to it and said, "Oh, this is neat. Where can we buy more?" And that's how the 2.5 employee company, Mélange Systems, was born. In case you were wondering, I was the half employee, working evenings and weekends because I already had a full-time job. Si j'avais trouvé que mes cours à l'université avaient été difficiles pour moi, je n'avais pas idée que démarrer une compagnie serait si intimidant. Mais j'étais un jeune entrepreneur curieux et toujours prêt à relever un défi. Our first year in business was actually quite profitable, and I began thinking that running a business wasn't so hard after all. Well, ladies and gentlemen, reality hit in the second year. After the first 7 months, we had 0 revenue. So for a young company, that's not a good thing. Although our product was really good, to our amazement, customers didn't line up at the door. We thought they would, but they didn't. So, with only $4,300 left in our corporate bank account, I decided that we should start selling our helmets on the export market. I had never been outside of Canada before, and I had never made a sales presentation in my life. What do you think my chance of success was? Can I have a vote? What do you mean no hands get up? Please. So, wise people with gray hair like this around me told me that exporting with no money and no experience was impossible. Well, you know, I was pretty naive, and most importantly, I truly believed in our product. So, with $4,300 left, in September of that year, I traveled to Europe and made sales presentations in 6 countries. As a result of the trip, we sold 1 helmet. Hey, that's not bad. It was the total revenue for 1982. But early the next year, we sold another 6 suits and helmets, and that, ladies and gentlemen, was the turning point. You know, sometimes being naive can be a real asset when we start our careers. As the 80s unfolded, I continued to travel around the globe, trying to conquer new markets. Every day was like climbing a steep hill, but I wasn't counting the hours. I was so passionate about what I was doing. My mission was to put a protective suit on helmet on everyone involved in bomb disposal work. Comme vous pouvez l'imaginer, vendre nos produits aux 4 coins du monde était extrêmement compliqué dans la période pré-Internet. Comment pouvais-je naviguer le multiculturalisme, le multilinguisme et les mœurs en affaires dans chacune et chacun des pays à l'échelle du globe? Il y avait tellement à apprendre. C'était aussi là que j'ai découvert que d'être bilingue et même trilingue était un atout énorme. Sometimes in business and in life, you have to be extremely persistent, even when others tell you it can't be done. But you have to take the initiative. Get off your backsides and go for it. Big talk, no action will never get you anywhere. By the late 80s, we had built a sales network that already spanned 50 countries around the globe. And I was in a secret race with CNN to see who would reach 100 countries first. CNN won. As a curious engineer, I wondered what it would feel like to be blown up. Have any of you ever tried? No? Oh, okay. Well, I was curious, and the first time I tried it, I was terrified. As an engineer, I believed in my product, and I knew how much explosive we could use and how close I could be to be relatively safe. And it may sound like a silly idea, but me wearing a bomb suit and helmet and being exposed to an explosion helped us discover the concussive effects of explosions and allowed us to build better equipment. I've been blown up 19 times during my career, and it was a very useful tool for research and also, to my amazement, as a sales tool. And let me share a story with you. Is anyone here from Egypt? I love Egypt. So, imagine, I had arranged with the Ministry of the Interior that I was going to do a live trial in Egypt, which means they were going to put a kilo of high explosive 3 meters in front of me, silly white Canadian guy, wearing a suit and helmet. So this was to be a trial. I show up, military attaché from the Canadian Embassy accompanies me, and we end up outside of Cairo in the desert, and they had set up a huge bleacher, because I guess they did demos there for other things. There was seating capacity for about 500 people, and every seat was full. So you had military officers, people from the Ministry of the Interior, police officers, everybody with their suit and tie, and they were coming to see this white Canadian silly guy get blown up. So I stand in front of the explosive, and the bleacher was over there in front, so I was behind the explosive. Bang, the explosion goes off, and I really didn't enjoy those kind of demos that much, but so after the smoke is off from the explosion, I walk through the smoke, and then I do this. And so everyone stands up clapping, right? So what I didn't realize was that the Ministry of the Interior was writing specifications because they were going to be buying some equipment like ours. And so they decided to put in the tender documents that any company wishing to propose its products for this tender had to send their president to Cairo to get blown up. Yeah, we didn't get any competition. Dans les années 90, nous étions devenus les leaders mondiaux dans notre domaine. Nous avions une part de marché de plus de 85%, mais c'était un défi continuel à relever. Nous avons gagné chaque client et chaque nouveau pays en offrant des technologies conçues et fabriquées ici, dans la région d'Ottawa. En fin de compte, nous étions très fiers d'avoir sauvé des vies et d'avoir eu un impact majeur dans la vie de nos clients et surtout dans celle de leurs familles. Although we earned a very dominant market share, over 85% of the global market, do you know many companies that can do that? 85% of the global market. You know what? The last 15% was really important for us. Competition was critical. Why? Wouldn't it be better to have 100% of the market? No. I loved competitors because they forced us to continuously innovate, to continuously push the envelope and never take our dominant market share for granted. The status quo was never an option for me. Ladies and gentlemen, you can never afford to take your success for granted. Because once you become successful, every one of your competitors wants a piece of your pie. Another fact that became crystal clear, I started a 2.5 employee company. So how do you grow in your career to run a very large company that sells globally? Well, if you want to take your company and your careers to the next level, you need to surround yourself with people that are smarter than you In my case, they were a lot smarter than me. Through the years, we built solid management teams and absolute top-notch high-performance design teams using very advanced human resource strategies. We handpicked every employee, the right person for the right job. That allowed me to build a company that was second to none. But how do you grow yourself? How do you get to the next level? Well, for me, to continue to grow as a CEO, I had the privilege of being surrounded by a world-class board of directors, 7 very wise people around the table, and they pushed me to levels that I could never have reached. To overcome challenges at the speed of business today, you can never afford to stop learning. And you can never afford to stop innovating. In 2003, we decided to move out of the business, the core business we were in, and to move into a brand new business with new technologies catering to new clients. The most dangerous diversification you can imagine. But with a world-class high-performance team, we designed and built sophisticated, leading-edge electronic equipment that ended up saving thousands of lives and helped change the course of a major war in Iraq, in the Middle East. By then, we had sold our products to over 120 countries and territories around the world, and we had been crowned the best in several market segments. That clearly demonstrates to me that as Canadians, we can compete with anyone in the world. Graduating class of 2016s, are you hoping to have an impact on society? Do you want to make a difference in the world? In this information age, your generation will transform the world like no other generation before you. And you, as a graduate of the University of Ottawa, can be one of the movers and shakers. If you want to make a difference in the world, find something that you can be truly passionate about. You can be passionate in your workplace, in your personal life, about a cause, in your relationships with others. Ladies and gentlemen, don't be afraid to be curious. Don't be afraid to explore, to make mistakes, to learn from them. Believe in yourself, dare to be different, and never stop learning. Get involved, be creative, be bold, and above all, never, ever forget to have fun. Merci.
Merci, Richard Labbé. C'était fascinant comme histoire. Comment découvrir, comment innover, comment bâtir une entreprise de classe mondiale avec imagination, mais aussi avec beaucoup de courage. I'm not sure that all presidents would be prepared to blow themselves up. Mais en tout cas, c'est bien terminé. It's a great success, a great Canadian success story. Et vous avez tiré des leçons importantes que vous avez partagées aujourd'hui avec la promotion 2016. On behalf of all of us, I thank you very much, Richard, for sharing those experiences with us. It was an inspiring story. We're very grateful that you've made this a very special afternoon. Merci. I propose now to address candidates for graduate diplomas and master's degrees. L'obtention de la maîtrise témoigne du haut niveau de compétences que les candidats et les candidates ont atteintes dans une discipline. The conferring of the master's degree signifies that a candidate has achieved a high level of knowledge in his or her discipline. Je demande maintenant qu'on invite à s'avancer ceux et celles qui ont mérité le grade de maîtrise. I now request that the candidates entitled to receive a master's degree be called forward. Congratulations.
Au nom de la Faculté des études supérieures et postdoctorales et au nom de la Faculté de génie, il me fait plaisir de vous présenter nos nouveaux diplômés au deuxième cycle. It gives me great pleasure to present to you our new master's and graduate diploma graduates on behalf of the Faculty of Graduate and Postdoctoral Studies and of the Faculty of Engineering. And I also remind you that my disclaimer about the pronunciation is still in effect. Master of Engineering in Electrical and Computer Engineering, Hoga Hajema. Muntasir Mohammad Halam. Aurora Tarun. Farhan Tasnim Baran. Harmanjit Singh Bath. Shizad Chaudhary. Simran Singh Chola. Munghan Chen. Siying Chen. Si Chen. Vincent Onyeye Chowekazi. Xiong Chui. Amit Damani. Raj Rashewar Singh Danju. Sushan Dawan. Zhou Dao. Rentang Gong. Wei Ho. Yashin Yang. Syed Mohammad Faizan Iqbal. Indurpreet Singh. Himanshu Kamra. Goldie Katal. Manpreet Kaur. Bhavya Kohli. Haran Lee. Xiaoyu Li. Xingjong Li Hong. Liu Dai. Chi-Chang Liu. Xuan Liu. Avyasri Lomada. Xiaoran Lu. Yushi Lu. Sorab Lufa. Ong Chao Ma. Babajidi Oluwasin Makanjola. Mudit Mogla. Ananta Krishnan Murad Lidran. Mohamed Obaid Ur Rahman. Ramin Pavlevan Nejad. Yutika Pawa. Onunja Patil. Yuji Cho. Adil Rasoul. Atul Santosh. Akshay Sarvankar. Tianshao Boshen. Nori Ilahi Shonchoy. Sur Inder Singh Sidhu. Baljit Singh. Ardip Singh. Jas Sahib Singh. Shwitang Singh. Taranjit Singh. Ashok Kumar Somasundaram. Burke Hosal. Ming Yang Sun. Kei Tang. Osama Tariq. Randat Venkatachala Shetty. Osim Vijay. Roshi Wang. Wei Yu Wang. Wenji Yang. Zieng Yi. Jirin J. Yen. Jizi Zhang. Rijo Zhang. Zhua Chao. Mujo, Chijo, Wanyujo, Master of Applied Science in Electrical and Computer Engineering, David Ariur Aribol Retalin. Osama Alokeli. Halu Asu Shud. Sarah Bagban Zadeh. Sum Satyam Behera. Yongji Jin. Hesanul Hakim Khan. Hamid Khan. Parinas Harayeri. Dongfu Li. Mohammad Rejahur Rahman. Shumit Shah. Suchan Wang. Jandi Ju. Graduate Diploma in Technology Project Management, Wasif Raza. Master of Engineering in Engineering Management, Oluwole Oluseyi Adeyinka. Keyam Akbar. Akinola Akinrinade. Wasim Al-Safin. Richard Apia Kubi. Gundip Singh Arich. Wenkut Raghav Arumugan Ravichandran. Christine Azi. Mutaz Saleh Bagabos. Gokul Chander Bhaktavatsalu. Chanakya Chauhan. Satish Kumar Chinaswamy.
Thanks.
Sai Krishna Dasari. Mahmoud Dimasi. Wago Easy. Alma Ezon Fade. Xiaofan Fu. Nitya Rebecca George. Brigitte Giguère. Anik Sohail Janjoua. Parmid Zawad. Ankit Joshi, Lani Jusuf, Jasin Kong, Renge Goda Kantaraj, Srigatam Kartikeyan Gunasilan, Soprit Kar, Arsalam Ikram Khan, Imran Afzal Khan, Nivas Kidari Ruvi, Anand Raj Krishnamurti, Jan Ma, Roderick Maisty, Oluwaseyi Akinsaya Mafe, Anas Mashabi, Tobechi Chibuke Mbaglu. Close. Dennis McLean. Mina Moharib. Ankit Nair. Muhammad Numer. Olute Tissimi Odunlami. Doris Chisholm Obugna. Isaac Oluwashim Oladele Samuel. Oladun Momi Olakemi Olatunde. Fuad Ulayan. Oyegoke Oluwoye. Omotola Omopo. Dorcas Onyenyechi Onu. Stanley Shalom Osifo. Tanya Paul. Muhammad Rahim Uddin. Sorav Rahman. Vikyat Ray Kundakuli. Amar Riaz. Mozamel Saklen. Gurbak Shish Soki. Han Song. Shizen Song. Rami Swedan. James Thomas Alakel. Imole Ayo Elizabeth Toki. Selahattin John Ochgods. Mohammad Mosenverk. Mungul Singh Yadav. Shujo Yan. Master of Computer Science, Co-op, Dip-In Anand. Shruti Chala. Chen Chen. Harsha Shirukuri. Vishwadeep Taliwal. Sorav Dindyal. Yangnan Dong. Shui Dong. Iman Ishara Ri. Artish Singh Grewal. Wei Wen Ong. Wei Jin. Nuvnit Kaur. Nafi Kasser Wazed. Ashaya Krishna Swami. Dongyang Li. Yuan Yan Li. Zhang Lu. Ameya Mohan Malongda. Ten Yu. Sojania Pashava. Priyanka Putel. Priscilla Kansam. Aravin Pogu. Zhu Yang Chu. Vivek Raman Kaushik. Mohammad Rehan. Apurv Sangal. Arman Singh Sekon. Ambalika Sharma. Shenbo Rui. Hundi Wang. Jingtian Zhao. Master of System Science, Omotayo Oluwani Femi Akimbode. Taranti Tandong. Kanyi Wang. Liang Chen. Fan Nguyen Tui Dong. Master of Science in System Science, Ranim Halkarti. Nihan Katal. Alfredo Herrera. Olufemi Adeniyi. Master of Electronic Business Technology. Ali Al-Shamazi. Miriam Diwara. Kevina Kinochukwu Jeffrey. Mona Lynn Afez. Han Hao. There's a traffic jam. Cynthia Tokuma Ikongo. Muhammad Awais Latif. Muzi Lee. Shruti Madhurika Nahomi. James Uzuchukwu Okoli. Mohammad Safi. Keifan Ju. Panwa Ju. Nassim Hamoud. Chidinma Priscilla Okaku. Voici qui complète la remise des certificats d'études supérieures et des diplômes d'études supérieures et de maîtrise. This completes the awarding of the graduate certificates, the graduate diplomas, and the master's degree. Tous et toutes nos diplômés méritent nos applaudissements. Let's give them a big round of applause.
Je demande qu'on invite maintenant à s'avancer ceux et celles qui ont mérité le grade de baccalauréat ou une grade professionnelle. I request that the candidates entitled to receive a baccalaureate or a professional degree be called forward. Congratulations.
Au nom de la faculté de génie, il me fait plaisir de vous présenter nos nouveaux diplômés au baccalauréat. It gives me great pleasure to present to you our new bachelor graduates on behalf of the Faculty of Engineering. Bachelor of Applied Science in Electrical Engineering, Guy-Jacques Africo. Shahjihan Hamed. Mariam Habib Al-Shehab, cum laude. The students receive a second degree in computing technology. Ivan Amor. Kenton Anzai, Electrical Engineering Co-op, magna cum laude. Jacob Barney Vaux. Christopher Bartolomucci. Chigozi Enwachuku Belulisa, magna cum laude, co-op. Travis Ray Caverly. Karim Dale, co-op summa cum laude, étudiant reçoit un deuxième diplôme en Computing Technology. Michael Higgins, cum laude, co-op. Zuchin Wang, magna cum laude, second degree in computing technology. Sied Daniel Kouram, magna cum laude, co-op. Riman Koudji, co-op. David Lay, co-op, cum laude. Lee Morrow, co-op, magna cum laude. Richard Ndere Ndavi, cum laude. Oyekachuwo Wabuizi. Romeo Jodou Defo, co-op, magna cum laude. Yvan Plamondon, co-op, summa cum laude. Robert Edward Pollock III. Arthur Kwang. Andrew James Reynolds, co-op, cum laude. Sylvain Roussel, co-op, summa cum laude. Habir Mohammad Seydou Zaman. José Andrés Sandoval Duran, second degree in computing technology. Hamad Shahid, co-op, magna cum laude. Justin Sones, co-op, cum laude. Pierre Villemur, co-op, cum laude. Jianzhu Wang, cum laude. Hakim Bolaji Yusuf Aliyu. Faria Safina Zaman. Stephanie Mary Zaidan. Bachelor of Applied Science in Computer Engineering, Babatunde Olanrewaju Afolabi. Mohamed Hamed. Sion He, co-op. Liban Ali Osman. Jordan Nicholas Busanich, Software Engineering Co-op. Katarina Drobnakovic. James Cole Dunsby, cum laude. Samira El Reyes, co-op, cum laude. Mathieu Fortin-Boulet, co-op, cum laude. Adnan Gasmi, magna cum laude. Alexandre Gesno-Dimic, co-op. Antoine Grondin, cum laude. Kent Agerman. Arash Marzi, co-op, cum laude. Nicolas Ménard, co-op, cum laude. Daniel Alexander Murdoch, cum laude. Lance Gordon Peterson, co-op, magna cum laude. Jean-Pierre Christopher Stephen Poirier, co-op. Marvin James Reyes, Mohamed Tagounit Hamou, Honors Bachelor of Science in Computer Science, Joseph Allen Bautista, Si Cheng Chen, Bowen Cheng, co-op cum laude, Alexander Peter Charles Clark, Sean Finnerty, co-op summa cum laude, Colin John Wayne Glass, Stéphanie Marie Gauguin, co-op cum laude, Yu Guo, co-op magna cum laude, Eileen Han, co-op summa cum laude, Daniel Hong, Paulie Idorot, Christopher Carroll McCarsky, Melissa Rita Mitchell, Ryan Murray, summa cum laude, Jennifer Michelle Newton, co-op magna cum laude, Maggie Plakoff, co-op magna cum laude, Mushahidur Rahman, co-op, Samain Usmani, co-op, Neil Warnock, co-op, Tim Young, Connor Nicholas Byron, magna cum laude, Jean-Yves Levrault, Philippe Parizeau-Filion, Mark Tamer, Samuel Nazaire, magna cum laude, second degree in mechanical engineering. Karim Dahel, co-op, student cum laude. Karim is the recipient of the University Gold Medal. So they cut me short. Karim is the recipient of the University Gold Medal for the highest standing in the Honors Bachelor Program in the Faculty of Engineering. Congratulations. So this completes the presentation of the University of Ottawa class of 2016 in Computer Engineering, Computer Science, Electrical Engineering, Electronic Business Technologies, Engineering Management, Software Engineering and System Science. Chers diplômés de la Faculté de Génie, ce fut un privilège d'avoir contribué à votre éducation au cours de ces dernières années. On behalf of all the faculty and staff members of the Faculty of Engineering, many of whom are here in attendance tonight at the back, I want to thank you again for having chosen the University of Ottawa for your engineering or computer science education. Tous mes collègues se joignent à moi pour vous souhaiter tout le succès possible dans vos carrières professionnelles ainsi que dans tous les projets que vous entreprendrez au cours des prochaines années. It's now time for you to take your place in the world and to make a difference for the better. C'est là notre souhait le plus cher pour chacun et chacune d'entre vous. Congratulations on your success and welcome to the large community of University of Ottawa Engineering and Computer Science alumni. Félicitations.
As Provost of the University of Ottawa, I'd like to mention that Dr. Legueux is about to complete his term as Dean of Faculty of Engineering. Thanks to him, this faculty became one of the most prestigious in Canada. So thank you. Merci beaucoup.
Avant de clore officiellement la cérémonie, j'aimerais aussi prendre l'occasion pour remercier le leadership exceptionnel de M. Alan Rock, notre recteur et vice-chancelier. Vous avez entendu qu'il termine son mandat le 30 juin 2016, donc à la fin du mois de juin cette année, dans quelques jours. So I'd like to join my colleagues here on stage and all of you to thank Mr. Alan Rock, President and Vice-Chancellor, for 8 exceptional years of leadership to the University of Ottawa. Merci beaucoup, Mr. Rock. La cérémonie de la collation des grades étant maintenant terminée, il m'appartient de déclarer cette séance close. The business for which convocation was called having been discharged, it is now my duty to declare the ceremony closed. Vous êtes priés de demeurer à vos places jusqu'à ce que le cortège universitaire ait quitté la salle. You are kindly requested to remain at your seats until the academic procession has left the hall. Joyeuses célébrations, happy celebrations!